Good day everyone. Today we are learning how to make a corset without using bra cup. And I've drawn out my main body's pattern. From shoulder to nipple point is 10, shoulder to under bust is 13.5, shoulder to half length is 16, and you can see the part I marked chest line. So for the chest line you use the fullest part of your bust, which mine is 8. And the circumference of the shoulder is 16 divided by 2, because I believe I assume I folded my fabric into 2 because I'm using paper, and from that point I measure 7 inches down and I connect it. So from this angle I measured 1 inch in, and right here I measured ½ inch and I connected everything. So for the circumference of the bust is 36 divided by 4. You know, every other part of the body is divided by 4 aside from the shoulder. So I've done that to every other part and connected that. So for the bust span is 7 inches, which I'm using to determine my dart. So I measured the 7 inches divided by 2, which will give me 3.5, and I connected it with my ruler down to the half length. That's from the chest point down to the half length. So after that, at the under bust, I'll measure 1 inch at the right and at the left of that bust span. And at the half length also, I'll still mark the 1 inch on both sides. I'll connect with my ruler the dots I have there. Then after that, I'll use my curve ruler, then connect it to the bust point, nipple point. You can see how I placed my ruler from the nipple point down to the bust, to the under bust. So I will do likewise for this other side. Just ensure your curve ruler is well set on the nipple point, you can see. Then at the chest line also, the 1 inch I used for the under bust, I will replicate it here. You can see on both left and right. Then I'll connect again with my curve ruler. This is just to give me the curve shape of the bust. You can see it's looking like a bustier, but here we are not treating bustier. For this tutorial we are treating corset. So at this middle, the middle of the front, I'll measure half. Then I'll come down with ½ inch as well and connect the two together. The dots I have there, I'll connect it together. I'll go ahead and pick my curve ruler again and connect from the 1 point to the half I have at the middle. Then also use my curve ruler to make another curve from that half back to the under bust. This is so easy. You can see the way I'm doing it. So then for the side, I will come in with just 1 inch. Then maintain the half I did at the middle. Then use my ruler to connect the dots. So I'll pick my curve ruler again to connect it back to the 1 point at the chest line. Then at that point again, I'll connect it back to my under bust, I mean to the 1 inch can see how it's looking now. Now we have our corset already. So in case you are making a corset with yoke, this is the perfect way to cut it. So I'll go ahead and add all the dart allowances. I used 2 inches now, one on both left and right, so I'm adding that back. Then I'm adding my seam allowance of 1 inch. So I'll use my ruler to connect the dots. Then I'll trace out the lines back so I don't make mistake while cutting. So if you want your chest line to come down, the middle, you can still reshape that half I have at the middle. So I've cut out my pattern paper and I've set the yoke aside. So you can see that I did not remove the cup. That's because I want to use this to draft out my back bodies. So for the back bodies, I will add 1.5 inch for my seam. You can use from 1 inch to 2 inches for the zipper allowance. So I'll just go ahead and cut it out. After cutting, I'll shift it up a bit so I can see where to put my darts. So I've marked the darts out and I separate my back from the front. So now I'll go ahead and cut out the cup. So this is what I have after cutting it out. So this is optional. If you want your corset this way, you are good to go. But if you want it in pairs, then you can go down with 1/2 inch after that side. Then use your curve ruler to connect it back to the middle, the way I'm doing it. Then you do likewise for this side too. Then I will use this line to indicate where I'm connecting the two so I don't make mistake while after cutting. Now cut them out. Like I said earlier, this is optional. It's not compulsory that you cut it in pieces like this. Then I will have to gum these two together, which I will explain further in our next video. But for these are the patterns we need. So for the back bodies, I will roll out my darts as well. So I will this is still the 3.5 inches I use for the bust band for the front bodies. Then I'll still trace out the 1 inch on both left and right, but in this case it's going to be in triangular shape because it's the back bodies. Then I will reshape the neckline of the back. This too is optional. You can still maintain the one we have before, but if you want it to come down, you can use up to like 3, 4, 5 inches. So I'll cut that out, then cut my dart out as well. So after this, I'll just go ahead and cut them out on my fabric. So thank you very much for watching this video to the end. Stay blessed, and please, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel for more videos. Have a great day.